Thanks so much for being here for Senja office hours. Every week we show you how to use social proof to grow and sell. Today's session is all about how to use Senja. And we have the 5 best features of Senja, our 5 favorite features that you can use to collect social proof, to manage social proof, and most importantly, to share it so that it's driving visibility, it's busting hesitations. I've got lots of cool examples for you. We're going to get into a bunch of demos. I'm Lex. I do creator relations at Senja. That means that I help folks use Senja. I work with creators on how they're using social proof, and we highlight that. We're doing a lot of really cool programs about how to share social proof, how to sell more with social proof, how to automate social proof. And I love highlighting what people are doing. So if you're doing something cool with Senja, would love to know about it. Please feel free to share it today or share it with me anytime. My email is lex@senja.io. You also probably know Ollie and Wilson, our co-founders. They're very public online about how they've been building Senja. And you can follow their accounts on X, where they share the behind the scenes about how they're building this tool and how we use Senja internally. So today's session, as I mentioned, is all about how to get started with Senja. We're going to cover 5 features of Senja: how to get set up with a form, how to do importing, how to tag and filter, how to share, and how to get other people sharing. I'm curious what you're curious about learning today. What brought you here? What are you interested in? How can we help? Feel free to drop it in the chat or come off mute either way. I'd love to know what brings you in. What are you most interested in? How to use the browser extension, Jay. Now you're speaking my language. Where to start? Ooh, you have your testimonials in a dingy covered. Amazing. Okay. Okay, Christy. Yeah, excited about that. Definitely going to show you some things you can do with Senja. Yes, to the browser extension. Okay, Ollie and Wilson are going to love to hear that because they just made an upgrade to the browser extension. So now it is even slicker and faster and more useful for you. Awesome. Okay. So like I said, these are the 5 things we're going to cover. But if there's something that you're interested in, something that you're like, I really wish I could do this, please let me know. I'm here to help. I'm a power user of Senja in addition to working for Senja. So I'm happy to steer you in the right direction. Also happy to bring feedback back to the team. So we're going to go through how you can set up your own testimonial form, what you might use those for, because there's more than one way to use those forms. We're going to talk about importing. How do you get stuff from all over the internet and pull it into your Senja account? Right? People are talking about you everywhere. We want that in Senja. How to tag, filter, organize your testimonials. How to share your testimonials. That's pretty important, right? We have all these cool widgets, images. You can put testimonials in emails, DMs, and more. And then how to get shares, how to get your audience sharing, which I think is one of the coolest underutilized features of Senja. So I would recommend that you have Senja open during our session today, and also that you grab that Chrome extension like folks have been mentioning, and there's those links, right? So Senja, get your Senja account open and grab the Chrome extension if you're a Chrome user. I'm going to show you how to use it a bit today. And then if you have platforms that you want to pull stuff in, you're welcome to follow along as we do some importing. Before we get into that, I really want to show you a few different ways that I see people using Senja that I think are really inspiring about the different ways that we can frame social proof. I find that a lot of people think about testimonials as like, sort of like, I'm going to collect some and then I just like put them on my website and that's it. Like Kay, you mentioned the dingy covered. That's pretty common, right? A lot of folks are like, yeah, I have some testimonials and they're somewhere and I put them somewhere once and I called it a day. But thinking about Senja as your word of mouth hub, so it's continuously a place where everything people are saying about you is coming in, and then you're using that to sell, to grow, to message, to motivate yourself and your team. That's where this tool gets really powerful. That's why those of us who love Senja love it, because it's not just like a place we store testimonials. It is the home of word of mouth for our business. Dan, to your question about where you can watch this live session back, I'll share a recap with you. You'll get this video, you'll get my write-up as well, and it goes on our YouTube channel also. Don't worry. I know I talk fast, so you can pause at your leisure. You can listen to it on your morning walks and really soak it all in. Okay, let me show you some cool examples about how you can put testimonials to work for you, and then I'll get into showing you a little bit around the platform. So, like I said, you can think bigger about social proof, right? It isn't just like this person said something nice about a product or service that I provide. One thing that you can do with social proof is you can have it vouch for you. So even before you launch something, your social proof from the last thing you did can help boost your credibility for the next thing that you're doing. That's something that I'm going to show you an example for on Product Hunt, right? So you sort of come in warm to a launch. It's not just like, oh, nobody's ever tried this before. It's like, oh, actually, a bunch of people can vouch for me here. Along those same lines, hesitation busting. If you're selling courses, if you're running a podcast, if you've got a newsletter, a membership, anything where you're not going to directly talk to every single person face to face, you need to bust through the hesitations. Why should I sign up? Why should I pay? Why should I get this thing, right? Testimonials can do that for you. And a diverse range of motivations and personas in those testimonials helps people see themselves in your audience, right? They're like, yeah, that's for me. This person says this, I relate to that, I'm in. You can also boost visibility with testimonials. So you don't have to bear the full weight of promoting your business. You can use testimonials to drive visibility. We see that on Amazon, right? On Apple Podcasts, where the more testimonials you have, the more you get seen in their search, the more you get seen in their platform. You can also use our share features, our word of mouth features, to get people sharing their own testimonial about your business. I'm going to show you an example of that too. Messaging is another underutilized feature in Senja. So we have an analyzer some of us looked at the other day, grabbing copy, grabbing quotes from within your Senja database and pulling it into your messaging. That is a huge superpower that you gain with Senja. We have an analyzer tool. If we have time, I'll show you the analyzer tool today, but we did another office hours on it where it can run down your database and tell you what people love about you, and then you can pull that right into copy. That is a huge power base for Senja. Using this as your word of mouth hub will turn that into a powerful messaging hub for you as well. You can also use Senja when it comes to onboarding, hiring, retaining members, employees, etc. Right? So I'm going to show you an example of that today where you get members sharing their success tips, right? And then that helps make sure that new members come in even smoother, right? That they have a better experience, that they stick around longer with you. Easier upgrades if you have something where you're trying to get people to upgrade from free to paid, or you're trying to get them to change tiers, you can use testimonials in that upgrade process, again, to help lighten the load of sales for you. We also see this with proposals. People put testimonials in proposals, and that'll help grease the wheels of persuasion there a bit. And then lastly, positive feedback. Senja's also a positive feedback folder. It's a great motivator. We hear this from folks as well. Okay, let's look at a couple examples of these things. If you're running a podcast, as I know Reginald is, you got a newsletter like Jay does, you can boost visibility with reviews. This is true both in terms of like the platforms that I mentioned, Apple and Amazon, but also in terms of getting folks to share on your behalf. So turning on that word of mouth feature in Senja where they post their review publicly for you. So this is Omar with the $100 MBA show. And you can see here that he's got testimonials all over his landing page. He's got a whole page of reviews. And these are pulling in from Apple Podcasts right into Senja. So in Apple Podcast search, his podcast shows up higher because he's got more testimonials. And then he leverages them on his website using Senja here. You can also get folks who leave testimonials to share them out for you. So on the right here, you see John, who took a course, and then he used the Senja form to just blast that over to X. So now he's providing some visibility on this testimonial. And if you're doing a launch or you've got a lot of folks buying something at one time, getting them to do this, getting them to share, encouraging them to share their testimonial means that like people will see it in their feed a bunch of times, right? So if you're doing some kind of push, you're doing a course launch, something like that, maybe you're doing a podcast review, push, getting them to share it on social media, it means that other people are like, oh, what's going on with this brand, right? I should be paying attention to this. So we see Devin Lee in the middle here sharing her own testimonial out. That'll also work, right? And if you tag your client, you tag your customer, they'll reshare it to their network, again, bringing you visibility. Hesitation busters about a specific product. If you're launching a template, a course, a new program, you can bust hesitations by showing all the different motivations. Why are people buying from you? Show it off on your landing pages. You can show it on things like Gumroad and smash down those hesitations, right? Get people through their blockers about why, oh, I shouldn't buy this. I don't know. It's like, okay, all these people love it. And this person said they got that out of it. And this person said they weren't sure about that, but then it actually was great, right? So it's selling on your behalf. It is doing that sales labor for you. I mentioned onboarding. So this is great for memberships. It also works for teams, for hiring, where you can have people share tips with each other. So this is an example that Ollie put together of community members sharing their tips for getting started with a community, using this in onboarding too. So past even the sales process, right? Vouching for you as trustworthy pre-launch. This is also really underutilized. So you don't just want to launch a sad page, right? That's like just a bunch of copy. Launching with testimonials from the last thing you did or from the beta test you ran. This is a product hunt page from Andre where he's got his Senja testimonials on the right before he's even launched. It adds credibility, right? It shows that people trust you, even if those testimonials are from a past project. And I mentioned positive feedback to keep going. I love this example from Alan, where he says, the value of social proof is not as much external as it is internal, helping him stay motivated about his project, right? And be reminded of the kinds of value that he's providing to his community. And then I also mentioned this, improving completion rates. So if you're running a course, using testimonials to help people complete the course or stick around in a membership so that people who are successful are giving those success tips back to other folks who might be getting stuck, right? So this is why we think of Senja as a word of mouth hub, because it can do all of these things for you. Any questions before we get into my demo of the platform? Are you feeling inspired? All right, no questions. We're on a roll. Okay, let's get into Senja. Feel free to follow along in your own Senja account. Just go to senja.io and log in. Let's start with forms. Okay, so along the left side of your Senja homepage, you'll see collect, manage, share, and that is essentially your testimonial process. Under collect, you have forms. So this is where you can create your testimonial collection forms. And you see here, I have one. I'm going to create a new one for us today. I'm going to delete this one and create a brand new one. And I'm going to call it course testimonials. So when we think about forms, you can think about both like a generic form that's just like sort of a catch-all for all of your testimonials, but you can also think about product-specific forms or channel-specific forms. Like we definitely have folks that use Senja for podcast or newsletter reviews, and they'll make a specific form for that. If you're booking sponsorships, you might have a sponsorships form. Some folks will break up programs or services. Other people will just combine them into one. So you can use your forms to sort of tailor how you want those testimonials to come back. And I think the deciding factor there is the questions that you're answering on the form. So as soon as you create your form, you have all these different options. You can, by the way, just run with this, right? It's built and ready for you. So if you're like, Lex, I hate options, I just want to get it going, you can actually just go with it, right? The default form is ready. It's ready for you, right? So this is totally usable out of the box. So don't panic if you're like, I don't know, it's too many options. Okay, but if you like customization, then you can come in here and you can make all kinds of changes to your form. You can change the questions, you can change the design, you can add prizes for people, and you can get them sharing. Sorry, my internet at my office, it gets really slow in the morning when everyone's here. Okay. So let's customize our form and get some better testimonials back, right? I think the big thing that we want is to make sure that we're asking the right question so that we get the testimonial that we want. So when you first see your form, you have this like initial context setting page. And this is where you're sort of letting the person who's filling this out know what kind of feedback you want. Why are they leaving you a testimonial? So you can change this title. You can say, tell us what you loved about our course, right? Letting them know this is about the course. And then you can say, thanks so much, right? For taking our course. We want to know what you loved about it. And then if you want to, you can actually add a welcome video onto this form. I'll show you that on my other account where you make a video to make them comfortable with leaving a video testimonial. So you can write it in text or you can have a video that lets them know how to leave a video for you, right? You want to lower that bar for them if you can. Okay, I'm looking at your question here. Can you pre-fill the email address via URL parameters? I don't think that you can, but you can send a request from Senja using their email. You can invite them from within Senja, which I'll show you how to do. So you tee up this testimonial. You've got what it is that you want them to do. Make them excited, make them comfortable. You can decide here whether you want to collect only videos, only text, or both. Then you've got the response page. This is where they're going to leave their testimonial. And this is where you want to think about what question you might want to ask or questions you might want to ask that gets you the best testimonial back. If you go to Senja's homepage, under resources, we have testimonial questions. This is a great database of ideas for you in terms of questions you might want to ask to get back a solid testimonial. So you want to ask something here that's going to get you what you need, right? If I'm a course creator, then I want to know what value you got out of the course, right? What result did you get? What did you learn from the course, right? What's maybe I'll ask something even lower than that. What's one thing you learned from the course? And then maybe I'd say, what would you tell a friend about this course? Why should they take it? Right? I wouldn't stress too much about these questions, but once you start getting a couple testimonials back, if you're not getting back what you want, you're going to want to come in here and update these questions and make them more specific so that they solicit the kind of answers you want. If you want to give people help text, you can give them help text right here. You can say, it helps if you share numbers or specific wins, right? Just give your course taker, your student, exactly what you need back. You can also collect ratings here. That's the 5 stars. And you can collect image attachments. Christy, since you're a web designer, I'll share this. We see folks who are template creators using this to see the result of how the template was applied. So like web designers, Notion creators, they'll be like, just share, and you can just put that in here, like share a screenshot, right? And then folks can just upload that stuff right here so that you can see. Going down here into customer details, this is where you capture info about this person. So you can turn all this stuff on and off: name, email, job title, website, company logo. You can also add additional fields. So this is like if you want to ask survey questions, you want to get preferences on something. I can show you another form that I have where I have a bunch of stuff in here. You can ask open-ended questions here. You can ask multiple choice questions here, and essentially use this as a form. So if you're simultaneously collecting testimonials and feedback, you can essentially use this as a feedback form as well if you want to. You can collect their company logo, their photo, and you can decide which of those things is required. Of course, you want to make sure that you have a nice message on your thank you page. You can customize everything about your thank you page. You can also add an additional call to action for them here. So you can say, go back to my website or head over to the community, whatever you want them to do if it's a course, maybe I want them to go back into the course, and you can customize what that language is and then exactly what that link is. The other thing that you can do here is get them sharing this on social media. So we specifically have a feature here where they can take their testimonials straight to X, to Twitter, right? And you can plug your website in here so that when they do, it plugs you as well. So this is really great if you're doing a launch or you have a big push for something, then you get them doing this and I would just also mention that in here, like, want to help more people take this amazing course. Of course you do. Share your experience on X in one click below. And what this will do is if you hit post in one click, it just opens this right in X for them, ready to go, and they can just hit post. And that's how that other example that I showed got posted to X, because that person used this feature. We get tagged in this stuff, so I see people using it. That's right here under word of mouth. Okay. If you want to use prizes, we have this thing called the spin the wheel feature, right? Where you can encourage people to leave testimonials because they get to spin a wheel with prizes on it. I'm going to show you this actually in our other account where we're upgraded, of course. Senja has all the features on Senja's own account. So if I create a form here, I can use this rewards feature. Now I get some really interesting pushback about rewards. I wrote about rewards in our newsletter. The thing about rewards is that, people are concerned like, oh, I don't feel like I should be paying for testimonials. And it's like, you're not really paying for testimonials, right? You're encouraging people to leave a testimonial who has already like bought something from you, already trusts you. So I would say like the ethics here are very clear if you invite these people in and if they are legitimate customers of your product, right, or service. So I wouldn't sweat this at all. It will help you get more reviews. So enable rewards. It will add this little send a testimonial to win a reward. And you can, of course, customize that language, get a prize when you leave a testimonial, things like that. You can choose all these things about your wheel, your color, and then down here, you get to like decide what these things are. You have a lot of customization in here. You can even like change the probability. You can change the link. Coupons are really common here, but these could be like freebies. If you have a bunch of like free trainings or lead magnets, things like that, you can absolutely put that stuff in here. And you can just like delete options, add options. Very simple. And what happens is when they complete their testimonial, they get the wheel and they get their prize. Yeah, Rachel, are you using the spin the wheel? I love it. It's super fun. People really like it. Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. Exciting. We love a prize. Who doesn't love a prize? I think the thing is like so many folks in your audience, they may love you and they want you to succeed and they want to leave you a testimonial, but like if you just think about how busy people are, like it's just not their top priority, right? So it just helps people, like it just helps that little motivation, and it's really funny, but adults love prizes, so it works. Okay, you can customize language on your form. We have a translation feature also for folks that are on our pro accounts, where it'll auto translate testimonials. You can customize your labels. So every single piece of text that you see on this form, you can customize every single thing here if you want to. Again, this stuff is all set up for you, so you don't have to touch any of this. But if you're really pro customization, go in here, change all the wording out. You can load a custom domain if you've got your own domain. So like ours is Senja.io. So our reviews are all like love.senja.io. So you can make yours testimonials.yourdomain as a subdomain. You can take on and off Senja branding if you have a starter or pro account. And then you can also auto approve and auto tag, which we'll talk about in a second when it comes to importing. Isn't that amazing? Yay. I wish I had the audience applause sound effect. Yeah, isn't that so cool, you guys? Okay. So, and as you learned when you tried my little intro form, when someone leaves a testimonial, you can see I customized all this. It has like this really fun moment for your fan where they get like a little confetti. And they have like a little celebration moment. It's really good. People feel really good about it. They love it. And then you can have all your different calls to action here. Get them sharing it. Okay. How are we feeling about forms? Questions about forms? Ideas for using forms? We're so pumped. I hope you guys are just working on your forms in the background. You're just like, yes, I'm so excited and I'm making my form right now. Okay. So like I said, you can categorize your forms. You can have forms for different product services. You can have forms for your different channels, newsletters, podcasts, things like that. You can have a form that's just generic love for you, which I would recommend doing. You can have a form for sponsorships, all kinds of stuff. And there's some examples here for you if you're like, I don't really know what I would do. And they get color coded now. This is new for those of you who have been using Senja. So you'll see which color the form is here, and then you can choose different colors for like all my products are purple and all my channels are green, whatever you want to do. Okay, collecting testimonials is great. Oh, okay, I'm sorry to hear that. We'll hope to see you next time. But we also want to gather stuff from online, right? People are talking about you everywhere. People are talking about you in communities. They're talking about you on podcast platforms. They're talking about you on social media. They're talking about you in emails. They're sending you text messages, and all of that stuff can come into Senja. And this is where Senja gets really exciting because you can import from over 30 places and using that Chrome extension that Jay mentioned, even more places, right? Pretty much everywhere that text or images or videos exist online, you can import into Senja. So just to go back for a second, under collect, we've got forms, we've got import, right? These are the two means to get stuff into Senja. So you can see here on the left all the different channels that you can import into Senja. Some of these are one-time channels, meaning you're going to import something and it's just coming over one time. And some are recurring. And you can see here that that's indicated by this little recurring icon, right? So like one of the best use cases for this is if you're an author, you've got a book on Amazon, Senja will continuously pull in your book reviews, right? So that's really exciting because then you can just hook up your book and it'll just continuously pull them in. For some of these other platforms, you're going to just pull in one post. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so obviously you can just like manually pull in text testimonial. You can manually upload a video, and you can manually drag in screenshots. So if people are texting you stuff, they're emailing you stuff, and you're just like grabbing screenshots, you can drag that stuff in. And you can see here, Senja will automatically transcribe for you, right? So Jay just put in the chat, I love the color coding. I'm going to drag that in here as a testimonial. I'm going to import it. And Senja will transcribe it for me, which is so great, right? So now I have a testimonial imported. There it is. And it's already transcribed. Boom. How easy was that? So easy. And then I have this profile for Jay. If I want, I can update details about her. I can invite her to do another form, all that stuff. A lot of us are keeping screenshots. So this is a great feature. Just drag them all in. Amazing. Okay. Let's say you have a social post that you want to drag in here. You can grab that link from X, from LinkedIn, from Facebook, and from Instagram. You can just grab the post. So here's a shout out from Donald. Donald is a big Senja fan. We love Donald. I'm going to just copy the link from X and bring it over here to Senja. And then I'm going to import it. So easy. Look at that. Now it's been imported. I'm going to do the same thing with LinkedIn, but here's the catch on LinkedIn. I can obviously grab a post on LinkedIn. I can just copy the link to this post and do what I just did with Donald's post. But let's say that my testimonial is actually in the comments. This is where the Chrome extension comes in because I can import comments using the Chrome extension. So you can see here this little import to Senja. This is like hidden in this little three dots menu. Also can be accessed here in Chrome, right? On this purple heart. And it'll grab everything from the comment. So if the importer doesn't grab the thing that you want, like if one of these tools doesn't grab like the specific comment or piece of text, try the Chrome extension because it will often grab that stuff in for you. So you can see here it just grabbed everything from Chris, and I can just import that in. Boom, amazing. You can also obviously like copy and paste stuff in. So if you're like somewhere else and it, this doesn't connect with that website, you can just copy and paste that stuff in. Same deal, right? Just load it in and import it. Okay, so let's see those testimonials. We've got Chris, we've got Donald, and it's all just in here ready to go, ready to be displayed to all of our fans. How great is that? I also love that we can pull in stuff from Apple Podcasts. I mentioned Amazon. I'll show you that as well. So what you do with Apple Podcasts is you grab your podcast link, go to import, you go down here to Apple, you put in your URL, search for testimonials. It'll pull all your testimonials up. You can grab them all and import them. I'm using a demo account, so I don't have the space for all these testimonials, but I'm going to import a few. Boom, they're all in. Now I've got all these testimonials in for my podcast. Amazing, right? You can now, let's say that Jay left us one of these testimonials and we wanted to merge this testimonial she just left us with one of the testimonials from Apple. We can grab the two testimonials and we can hit merge. And we can say, these are both Jay. So apply her profile to both of these testimonials. This is particularly useful on Amazon and Apple where people come in kind of anonymously. And you can be like, oh, that's actually this person. And I just want to apply their photo and title and everything. So you can merge. And it'll, if all this was filled out, it'll apply this to both. Pretty cool, huh? That's pretty new, that like new customer view, right? So, and then all the testimony, let me merge, I'll just merge Donald with one of these folks so we can see that. And then I can see all the testimonials this person has left and it will apply their entire profile, right? And then I can be like, oh, Donald left me all these great testimonials. Maybe I should ask him for another one. I'm going to invite him to a forum. And you can also send a thank you note from here. And you can update their info like I already mentioned. Boom. So this is all ready. I don't have Donald's email, so I'm just going to pretend he works for Senja right here. And I can send a custom invitation just to this one person. And you can see we've got like different options here for you in terms of the messaging. You can fully customize this. So easy, right? Senja does it for you. Don't you guys love it? So automated, so easy, so effortless. So Senja. Okay. Let me show you Amazon real quick and then we'll move on to another amazing feature of Senja, tagging and filtering. Okay, so Amazon works real similar to Apple, where we can search for testimonials. It'll grab a whole bunch of them. And then we can decide if we want them all, and we can auto sync. Auto sync is not enabled for me because I'm on a free demo account right now. But if you have a paid account, you just toggle that on and it will continually sync your Amazon reviews for you. Super useful, super handy, works in the background, does it all for you. Amazing. Okay, questions about importing, things you want to try to do, issues you've had, opportunities you see, anything like that. Jay, hit me with it.
Hey girl. So I noticed that I did the extension because I was like, I'm eventually going to figure it out. And then I was in Gumroad and it showed up in and I was like, wait, what does that even mean? I can use it in Gumroad now? Please, yes,
Yeah.
tell me.
Yeah, I mean that's so the point of the extension really is that if there's not an easy like API integration for Senja to pull from the platform, that's the whole idea is that it like follows you around the internet and it can grab whatever you need from the page, right? Like that's the goal. So it will sometimes auto load that stuff in, like it's trying to anticipate that for you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm wondering if I go to a customer's sales page where they leave the testimonial, if I click on I'm gonna test that out and I'll let you know.
Yeah, try it out. And if it doesn't work, you can always just do what I'm doing here, right? And just like, oop, grab the text and throw it over here, right? Takes 2 seconds and it's in, right?
Oh,
Or
I've done
grab a
that, girl.
screenshot, same thing.
You know
So
I've done that.
yeah, it's super
Okay,
easy.
I'll let you know.
Let us know. Okay, cool. Now you have all these amazing testimonials in here, and you're like, I want to search for them or filter them or categorize them. Of course you do. And that's where you come down here to manage. This is where all your testimonials live. You've got tags that you can add, and you've got robust filtering and searching. When you click tags, Senja prompts you because it's anticipating your needs for the kinds of tags you might want to add. You might want to add what product this is about, what kind of company this is. You might want to say, what's the focus of this testimonial? Where did this person come from, right? So I'm going to say product and I'm going to say course, right? And it's trying to give me suggestions for that. So now I have a course tag and I can go back to my testimonials and I can say, these two are about my course. Beautiful. Now they're both tagged with the course. And when I search here, I can search by keyword, I can search by source, and I can also search by tags, right? So I can see which testimonials were left for this thing, right? This is incredibly useful because as you grow your library and you're getting hundreds of testimonials in, you're like, what did people say about my last course? How do I find that testimonial that I loved about the last course? And that's when you come here to search and filter and you say, okay, let's see, shout out. I love that both of them said shout out. I think it said something about shout out, right? Boom, here's all my testimonials about shout out. Where are my testimonials about courses? Boom, here's all my testimonials about courses, right? And then, like I said, you can grab the tag, you can look at the source, you can say, let me find all my podcast testimonials. Here's all the podcast testimonials. So many different like configurations in here. You can really go wild with it. Um, but I think this is where it really becomes incredibly powerful for messaging because you can find these little bits. Oh, this person said something about results, right? This person said something about wins. This person said something about life changing, right? And then you can type it in here, grab that text, and use it in your messaging. So powerful. Jay, let us know.
I can report back. I just tried it. This is freaking awesome. So, for anyone who's using Gumroad, you get those reviews and they seem like they're lost unless you copy paste. Wow. With the extension, I went into a sales where someone left a review, clicked on the Senja little icon, and it gave me a sidebar.
I love it. I loaded it all in there.
Well, it didn't load it. It gave me the option
Oh, yeah.
to grab a screen or just type it in, but I didn't have to go to another tab. It put the little
Yes.
sidebar right in
Yeah.
Gumroad.
The sidebar will show up on it should show up on any website. Yeah. It's like your little pocket Senja. We love it. Okay. So that's tagging and filtering. So you can grab any of your testimonials and pull them into your messaging, right? People have said that this struck me over and over again, right? This is one of the funniest things ever, right? People can you can grab those bits, you can turn them into messaging, and then you can back them up with the testimonial. We did that in our session a couple weeks ago. Okay, so now you've got your forms. You've imported a bunch of testimonials. They're all beautifully organized and tagged, and it's just like, ah, super shiny. Now you want to share. This is where you go to Senja's studio. So down here, we're in share. You go to studio and you can create all images and widgets that your heart desires. You can go crazy with images and widgets. You can also create these off of any single testimonial. So if you're like, wow, I really loved this testimonial, you can just go right here and it'll just quickly turn it into an image for you. So this is just like a fast, like, oh yeah, I want to just share that out right now. Great. Boom. Got an image. Done. Share. Export. Senja just made it for you, right? Let's say that you're an artiste and you want some customization. So you'll go into Studio and you can decide, do you want an image for social media? Do you want a live embed for your website? Maybe you want a wall of love. We love a wall of love. If you don't have a wall of love, we highly recommend that you create one. So you can choose a design here, and this will make a standalone wall of love for you. So I'm going to choose this one. It's one of my favorite designs. Office hours, party, create your wall of love. And then you can decide, do you want to show all of your testimonials? By default, it's going to show all of your testimonials here, but you can curate this. You can say, I actually only want to see my course testimonials here. So I'm going to go down to tags, select course. Great. Now I have my course testimonials here. And then maybe I want to choose which ones. Cool. Or I can do approved testimonials and I can tag this way. So this is just all the testimonials that have been tagged that are approved, right? Right now it's just Chris and Jay. The other way that you can approach this, let me take off my tag, is by allowing people to filter. So if you're someone who does a lot of different projects and you're like, I do want people to know what these testimonials are about, but I sort of want to just show them all. When you go into your wall of love design, down here, we have something called filters. And you can say, I want people to see everything by default, but I also want them to just see the podcast or just see the course. So you can add a couple of filters here and you would put your tags in there. And you would say, these ones are just about the course. These ones are just about the podcast. And it'll add this filtering for you. You can also change the icon. So that it's like very cute, very demure, right? And then when people click the filter, they'll just see testimonials about that. So if you've got like Christy, again, your template shop for web design, right? Maybe you have like testimonials about template A versus template B. You could sort them that way, or you could do testimonials about templates together versus testimonials about courses, right? And then people can just see. Everybody loves Christy. What I really want to know, what do they love about her templates? I'm just going to click on this button and see all that stuff there. There's a lot of other stuff that you can do on your wall of love. You can use a testimonial for the title. You can obviously customize your title. You can add navigation up here. So you can just add other links. So you might want to, add your course link in here. I'm going to add it here actually. Take the course. Jediah/course, right? And then it adds that up here. So what's great about this is that you can take people through this as a landing page for whatever you're doing, because you can customize this CTA and you can customize the navigation up here. So it effectively becomes a standalone website. You can even do like, follow me, right? And you just do like X, my username, whatever, right? You can decide if it opens in a tab or whatever. You can also add an inline CTA. So if you have like hundreds of testimonials and you're like, people are going to get lost in the testimonials, you can add a like, take the course. Yo, take my course. check it out, course link, right? And then it'll add this little box, and as your testimonial, cascades down the page, you'll get this box a bunch of times. So if you have more testimonials in this, like let's say, I don't know, I think it's like 25, something like that, you'll see this block just like peppered down the page. So if people get lost in the testimonials, they're still with you and converting over to the thing you want them to do. So now you have a wall of love. It is ready to go. And you can share it. This will create a standalone link. If you're on a paid plan with Senja, you can create a custom domain, which we love. But even on the free plan, you can customize the tail end of your URL here. Make it nice and clean. Boom. Now we have a wall of love. Check that out, everybody. So nice. This is what everyone loves about us. Obviously, you can change the colors and things like that as well in your wall of love. Super useful. Super cool. Very demure. Okay. You also might want to embed Senja onto your website. I know I do. This is where you'll go to widgets. And you'll see all of the different testimonial widgets where you can load all your testimonials in all these cool different ways. You can get a badge. You can get, where's the avatar widget? This is like one of our most popular avatars pro. We've got carousels. We've got this like cool carousel that has like little flips on it. And you can grab this stuff and move it over to your website. How fun is that? Right? Oh, this is super fun. And then similarly, it's going to load all your testimonials in, and then you can decide, what testimonials do I want to show here? Do I want to filter by tag? Do I want to select certain ones? You can sort of like have Senja filter this for you by choosing the filters on the left, or you can just be like, I know exactly which ones. I'm just going to pick. I want this one. I want this one, and I want this one, right? Save selection. Now it's just the ones that I chose. Yeah, so Beehive Jay doesn't support JavaScript, so unfortunately no code will work on Beehive. Yeah. Feel free to request it though. Senja has an integration with Typeform, which was acquired by Beehive, and so hopefully it'll just work when they make that integration happen. Okay. So once you've got your widget up, where you've selected your testimonials and you've chosen your design, and now you have something that you want to embed on your page, you'll go over here to share. And for live widgets, you'll see instructions here for all the platforms, or many of the platforms that you might be using, right? Maybe not all of them, but a lot of platforms. Webflow, Wix, Squarespace, Framer, Shopify, I've got lots of stuff in here. And you can grab the code. So let's say you're using Squarespace. Christy's a Squarespace web designer. You can see all the instructions here about how to paste that over to Squarespace. I use Framer, so I have my Framer pulled up here. And what you do is you copy the Framer instructions here. If you're using Framer, just copy. Very easy. Go over to Framer and you can paste your widget in here. So now I have a Senja widget here. You'll see nothing is loaded there because it's looking for its URL. And I'll just grab that here. And then I load it in there. And there's my widget. Right? Boom. Nice. Ready to go. So easy. If you decide you don't like that widget, you can just change it. Boom, new widget. Oh, I need to upgrade my demo account. Look, I'm all ready to go. Boom, new widget, share, done. You can also download many of these as PNGs. So like for Gumroad and Beehive, where you can't load JavaScript on the page, you can just download the image of the widget. Of course, you can also download images for social media. If you go down here to images, We've got lots of just like ready to go images for you. You can choose one that is the closest to the thing that you'd like to share. Like this is great for Instagram stories. And then let's pick Chris's because he's got a photo. Oh, his photo's a little low res. Let's go to Donald's. Kids will be a little bit better. Okay, and then you can customize the background if you want to, add like a cool texture to it. And for most of these, you can even like change something in the testimonial, right? So in this case, maybe I don't want it to tag us. I just want to write our company name in there. Or maybe I want to just cut down his testimonial a bit. And you can update heading text, all kinds of stuff in here. You can throw your logo on here if you have a pro account, a starter account. Cool. I know we're moving really fast. How are y'all feeling about these widgets and shares? Questions about how to share? No questions about how to share. Jay's over there doing her Gumroad. I love it. We also have video embeds, which are super nice. And if you're collecting video testimonials, I highly recommend that you use these. They look really great on the page. Chris from Backlog, let me see if I can find his website, did a really nice job embedding these on his site. And they just look, this is also, yeah, this is that widget that we were just looking at. So he's even got like his own, he uploaded his own video into Senja actually, and just used our embed here because it looks so nice. And he was like, it looks a lot nicer than YouTube. So you can just embed our videos back to back. I have them here. These are all Senja embeds right here. Cool. Okay. So when you get your testimonials, you don't just want to leave them in Senja. You don't just want to load them into widgets. You want to share them. So I highly recommend that you think about how you're going to take these testimonials and put them back out into the world. So every time you get a new testimonial, you go in and you grab the link or you grab an image and you take it to your own social account. And this will start encouraging folks that are sharing their testimonials to share it as well, right? So if I go share here, I can grab this as a PNG and I can take it back over to social media. If you are using the Chrome extension, you can also use the Chrome extension here. I want to grab a testimonial and I can just grab an image right here. Grab your testimonial and put it in social media. You can also inject these into emails. So copy. I don't think copy paste will work on LinkedIn, will it? Oh yeah, did it? It did. Boom, copy paste. There's my testimonial. How cool is that? So easy, so Senja. Just copy, paste, boom. I got a testimonial. Cool. So you can use this in your email newsletter tools. You can use this in Gmail. I had no idea you could copy and paste on LinkedIn, but you could copy and paste on LinkedIn, Gumroad, in your Amazon pages, on your podcast landing pages, any of those things. And we have all of the like tags in here as well. So if you want to like search by stuff in here, you can. And you can like filter through your testimonials even in the extension. So you got your tags in here as well. So that just makes it really easy to actually use them, right? We want to make sure that you use them because then people see them and then they buy from you and they share what you're doing and they share their own testimonial back and things like that. So copy paste right from the Senja Chrome extension, grab it and put it into your channels. And then, as I already mentioned before, make sure that in your forms, you're encouraging people to share as they leave the testimonial. So in the form itself, activating that word of mouth feature, get them to share it as well. You share it, get them to share it. Now you have buzz happening on the internet. We love to see it. Oh, Jay, email. Yeah. Okay. So let me open a new. So let's say I'm in Gmail and I'm like, hey, Jay, look how cool I am. Right? I'm just writing an email. And I'm like, oh, I want to add a testimonial. Right? I love this one. Copy. I'm just Command V on my keyboard. Boom, testimonial in an email. So easy. So Senja. And then you can do the same thing in a newsletter tool as well. So you can just grab your testimonials right from the Chrome extension. You can also create widgets in here if you want to. And you can send forms through this way. So like, let's see, Jasmine. I can be like, Jay, leave me a testimonial for my course. And it'll just load right in and make the ask. It's all ready for you. You can customize that message too. I did that really fast, but you can like fully customize that message if you want to. Yeah. Okay. I know we're at our time and you guys probably have to get going. So I just want to let you know that we do these office hours on Tuesdays. So subscribe on our Luma calendar. It's senja.io/live to get to that. And tell us what you want to see. After this session, you'll get an email from me, from Luma, asking what you liked about the session. Please feel free to leave me feedback there. Please feel free to leave a testimonial. We use those testimonials to get people to come to office hours. So we love a testimonial here at Senja. Please feel free to tell me both what you liked and why you think other folks should come to office hours.